Alright guys, I've got another video coming at you, one I've been wanting to do since kind of last night. Forgive the noise in the background, my 3D printer is currently going. So today we're going to go over dead trigger, failure to reset, stuff like that. It's a very common issue when building these polymer 80s. Give you guys, and I'm about to start this one. So I'm gonna give you guys kind of a quick rundown on what it could be, how to diagnose it, and fix it. Okay, so as always, clear the weapon. Alright, so just to give you guys kind of a crash course on it. So, on the mechanics of it, this is the back of your cruciform here, where my fingertip is at. What that's going to do is it's going to grab here and pull back on your striker there. When you pull the trigger, your shark fin is going to push up on this, moving it out of the way and allowing the striker to drop. Okay, quick once over of the trigger action. Now, once that happens, firing pin drops. Slide cycles backwards, ejects the spent shell casing, and then cycles back into battery. In doing so, this rib right here is going to catch this little ridge right here on your connector. So that is going to push it over, which I don't know if you could see that. But it just reset my trigger, so we're gonna go at it from this way. Alright, so I'm gonna push over, and you saw that cruciform just pop back up so that it could catch this on the way back into action. Now, a lot of times this isn't putting enough pressure, or the slide isn't putting enough, this right here, this ridge isn't putting enough pressure on your disconnector to actually move it and get it out of the way. Okay, so once again, we're gonna go at it from another angle. Okay, I'm gonna push over. Okay, so sometimes you just take this tab right here and you bend it that way, just a little bit, doesn't need to be much. Okay. The other issue is you could be getting incomplete striker engagement right here on the cruciform. Your striker lug, this guy right here, should completely cover, or almost completely cover, this back plate on this cruciform right here. Okay. You don't want it to extend past, you don't want it to be barely hanging on. Okay, that's called improper sear engagement. Okay, and it will cause either a dead trigger, whereas like if it's too much engagement, if you pull the trigger, the striker just won't drop. If it's too little engagement, it won't catch properly when the slide cycles back into action, and it'll drop again, usually causing full auto, or more often than not, it'll just cause a light strike. Okay, so I can already hear you guys now. Well, how do I diagnose that type of thing? This is how. This is called an armorer's backplate, or an armorer's plate. It allows you to see the rear end of your pistol and the guts inside, so you can see exactly what's happening inside the guts of your pistol. See that? Okay. So the way you can do this, the way I did mine, was I took a factory Glock plate and I went in with a Dremel and I just stripped away at it until I got to the metal. And that is a perfect back plate, because you can always replace the back plate for relatively cheaply. It's not something that that, you know, is prohibitively expensive, but it is something, especially if you plan on building, you know, multiple times or modifying your firearm in the future. Anytime you put a new trigger in, anytime you put a new connector in, anytime you put a new firing pin in, you've got to check and make sure you have proper striker engagement, proper cruciform engagement. If you do not, it can cause a whole host of problems, much like the ones you're currently experiencing if you're looking for this video. So I highly recommend creating one of these. It'll cost you, you know, $10 or whatever it is to get a new backplate. The factory ones are usually pretty cheap, or the factory alike ones are very, very cheap. If you have a 3D printer available, you can also 3D print one. So, I mean, there are options for that, as far as that goes. Hope this video helped. Stay safe and happy building, guys. Thanks. Like, share, and subscribe. You know the drill. All right, bye.